This is Chicky Adventures, Episode 2, Dave's Evening Adventure, starring Dave. As you can see, he adventures mostly in the evening in the garden with the other chickens like Willie and Isis. Isis works for Isis and Willie is Willie, but Willie's got diseases with her feet, which is unfortunate. Not really. Oh. Dave has been in a cage most of his life, trying to be sold. He's finally been free. This is the first month Dave hasn't been in a cage. Good for him. He no longer has to be depressed in a cage. Dave, shut up, Dave. I'm documenting you, Dave. Where did you go, Dave? Dave isn't calm when I'm around him. He is a very white bird, and his legs are abnormally long. He is frightened because he's been in a cage most of his life. As you can see, Dave is walking over there. He is no longer frightened. Dave is being good. That was soda can sound. Actually, that was a pop can sound. Because it's soda is weirdos down south. That's what they say. Soda. Actually, here, Dave likes to walk out in the open with all the other birdies. As you can see, Dave is making happy sounds with his mouth. Guess what, Dave? Dave likes walking and adventuring in the evening time. He adventures all the time in the garden. Sometimes it turns into Australia and America, and Dave gets upside down. But only in Great Count Kentuck it turns to Australia. Dave is frightened somehow by me being roughly 50 feet away from him. Dave was going to flap his wings, but he decided not to. Dave will run to the forest and be Dave. Dave's next adventure of the evening time is the edge of the forest. Massive, tall trees, taller than that bird up there. Dave likes it here because all the other chickens go here. Therefore, they like it here. Which means Dave likes it here. And this tree is pretty weird. Dave likes adventuring here because the grass has been mowed. There was once a forest of plants here and grass. There is no longer because an old man mowed it down. Dave likes adventuring near the creek, but sometimes he gets attacked by tuckles, and then it depresses him. But Dave is afraid of the water, so he will find a safer route. Flying. Dave is good at flying because he's a bantam game bird thing, and he can jump very high with his abnormally long legs. The edge of the forest, yes, is a great place for Dave to adventure because he can find many foods like small snakes, frogs, maybe salamanders or lizards, worms, toads, bug things, spiders, and edible plants. Isn't that right, Isis? Where'd your tail feathers go? Dave has left the edge of the forest, but he wants to go back into it. So Dave does. He goes back into the edge of the forest where 3 of these Tookies are. This Tookie is protected by this wall of vines. Dave likes it here. There's a vine. But most importantly, Dave has Greybutt. Greybutt is bigger than Dave, heavier. And Greybutt is gray with a gray butt. Sort of silverish gray. But, wait, sorry. I meant to do, but Greybutt is Greybutt, which is not a problem at all. Cypress. It smells like cypress. Cypresses are a pine tree. They're in the pine tree family, but they grow mainly where there's water. Like, Florida or whatever. Pine trees over there don't do very well in water, along with cedar trees, like that one way off yonder, poking its head above the cornfield. But anyway, this isn't a tree documentary. It's a Dave's evening adventure documentary. Tookie appears to be eating a frog or something. I don't really know. Dave's over there pecking on leaves and vegetation. As you can see, they come down here regularly at day and evening time, at actually the same time, and make little trails. And Tookie goes ha for some reason. They all make individual sounds, like cluck and and stuff. Dave, with his dark, 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 dark blue tail feathers, is good because he likes stuff and he can look at me. But something's bad at him. He illegally has snakes for brunch. And then he has little lizards for lunch and whatever. Yeah. There's also broken bottle thing. Don't know how that got up there, but it's up there. Now back to Dave. Dave has left the rest of the little birdies, and Dave is now going to this Red, the elder of all the chickens, the oldest of all the chickens, approximately 3 years old, yes, or 4, maybe, not sure. Wait, no. Yes, it is 4 years old, I think. But it still is elderly. and oldeth. And Dave made a sound with his mouth, an unexplainable sound, like "ugh" or something.